What's going on, everybody? Jay here from Square Pegs. Glad to be hanging out with you. It is that time of the month again. It is the best time of the month because that means we have received a new shipment from our friends at Video Games Monthly. I just need to crack this thing open, free it from its priority mail prison. Now, what is Video Games Monthly, you might ask? Video Games Monthly is a monthly subscription service where you can get 3, 4, 5, or 10 games sent directly to your front door. This is not a rental service. These are games you get to keep. It is the best in retro and modern. Everything all the way from the Atari 2600 all the way up to the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. You're going to be able to get games, curate your list, let them know what you have, and they'll send you things you don't. And if they do make a mistake, let's be honest, human error happens. Mistakes can occur. If you are sent something you already have, just let them know. They'll get it replaced for you and it won't be a problem. So, what do you say? Let's crack this thing open, let's find out what's inside, and let's check out what this month's shipment from Video Games Monthly is. But before I do, big thank you to Joe. I got to see Joe at CorgsCon this year. I didn't mention him in my Corgs recap video because I wanted to call him out specifically here. Joe saved the day, like legit. My wife and I had a king-sized bed, and Victor came with us, and the couch sucked at the hotel. It was not comfortable, so Victor wasn't going to be able to sleep comfortably. So we talked to Joe, and Joe had 2 doubles. So we swapped rooms, and it was awesome. We were able to get into a room that was comfortable for all 3 of us. We were able to actually sleep comfortably. It was really awesome, and I can't tell Joe how much I appreciate it. Joe's been a good friend of the channel now for a few years, and every time I get to interact with him, he's always at an 11, and I'm usually at like a 2. We're very, very opposite people, but he has such a kind heart, and he's such a good dude that I just appreciate being around him, and I always look forward to seeing him when I'm at a show. But all that sappy shit out of the way now. Let's get this open. Let's find out what's inside. But what do I get games for? That's always the important question. We're going to start at the oldest, work our way to the newest. Oh, that's not going to work. I'm going to screw this up halfway through, but we're going to start with what I know and work to probably what I don't know. And if I forget something, we'll point it out and you guys can laugh at me. Let's see. I get games for the NES, the Famicom, the SNES, the Genesis, the Sega Master System, the Dreamcast, the GameCube, the Wii U, and the Game Gear. Might be something else. N64? Might be something else. Anyway, I can't remember exactly what I get. I have a wide open list. I like to get games. It's always fun because these are like a lottery to me. So whenever I get a new box, it's like a Christmas present that I bought for myself. I just don't know what the hell it is. And how we do this is when I open this box, I don't see what's inside first. I hold it up to the camera. We find out at the exact same time. I say that, but you usually find out before me because 9 times out of 10, I can't read the cartridge backwards because I'm old, my eyes don't work great, and it's fun to look like an idiot for you guys. That's what it boils down to. It's fun to look like an idiot. So let's find out. So we do the blind feel. First off, we take out bubble wrap. Bubble wrap is great. We always appreciate bubble wrap. We have our social card. If you share your experience with Video Games Monthly on social media, you'll be entered into a chance to win a free 3-up box. That's right, 3 free games sent directly to your front door just for sharing a photo or a video online. It's pretty awesome, pretty great. Awesome service. One of my favorite things to do every month is to get my shipment from VGM, and I love that this is something that they do for folks, is to be able to give away 1 free box. It's pretty awesome. Now, there's always some little tchotchke, some little bit of ephemera in here to find out what it is, and I'm pretty sure it's this. This is squishy. I don't know what it is. But so the blind feel, we have 1, 2 NES, 2 Genesis, and a Game Gear. All right, so let's find out what the tchotchke is. No idea what this could be. 3, 2, 1. Oh, neat! Mario Kart collector's pins. Very cool. You can get Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, Bowser, Princess Peach, Toad, Lakitu, or a gold Mario. That's pretty cool. Awesome. That's a neat little piece of neat little piece of kit. All right, so how's we're going to do this? Since it is the Summer Sega, we're going to go NES first, then we'll do Game Gear, and then Genesis. But start off now. Get this all shined up, neat and pretty. 3, 2, 1. Double Dragon 2! Holy crap, that's awesome. Wow, what a great get. My favorite Druggle Dragon? That's a different game entirely. My favorite Double Dragon game is Double Dragon 2. Very excited to have this. This is super cool. Awesome. Let's take a look at Double Dragon 2, The Revenge. Now, for a game I have talked about in the past, I was kind of surprised that I didn't own Double Dragon 2 The Revenge, especially because it's a game that I love. It is probably my favorite beat-em-up on the NES. I think it is miles better than the first Double Dragon. I think control-wise it's better, graphics-wise it just works better. I won't say they are better because they're basically the same design from the first one, but for some reason, I don't know, it felt like a more complete game than the first Double Dragon. The challenge is there, but it's not so overly difficult that you're going to get frustrated. You're actually able to kind of formulate strategies and work your way through and figure out what you need to do in order to move on with the game. I love it though. I think it's a fantastic title, and I'm seriously stoked to be adding this to my collection. I used to own this when I was younger, and like I said, I thought I owned it again, but apparently I don't because it's not on the shelf. It's definitely something though that I think every NES collection needs to own, and this really does sing one of the hallmark aspects of what I think Video Games Monthly is imperative for. This added a game to my collection that clearly I've overlooked. And it's one of those things where when I go to a show, I'm always looking for bigger ticket items, or I'm always looking for very specific things on my list. And then I forget about stuff like Double Dragon 2. I'm really happy to have this one. I'm really happy to add it to the collection. And at 12 bucks, not a bad value either. Really stoked to have this one back. What a great score. That's a fantastic way to start this box off. All right, and I should mention as well, playing Russian roulette once again with my VGM shipment, because this is after going to CorgsCon, didn't update my list, so I could have some doubles in here, and if we do, that's fine. We'll just flip those down the road. All right, next up, 3, 2, 1. Tetris 2, very cool. Didn't actually realize there was a Tetris 2, but that's fun. Let's take a look at it. Let's see if it differs greatly from the original Tetris. I can't see how it would. Maybe there's new block shapes? Well, no, I don't know. Let's find out. I will admit, I had no idea there was a Tetris 2. I kind of thought they broke the mold on the first Tetris, both on the Game Boy and the NES, and never really explored the idea of having a sequel. I didn't even consider that there could have been a sequel to it. But here it is. It's Tetris 2, and it's interesting. I don't want to say it's bad, and I don't want to say it's good. It's just, it's different enough that I don't think it clicks for me yet, but I'm enjoying it enough that I want to keep playing it, if that makes any sense. It's one of those things, I think, where when you have a particular design aspect and something that works like the original Tetris does, mucking with it can be dangerous. And I think that's kind of what happened here, because they started adding things like different shaped blocks, and they added the ability to have like blocks that are dropping and removing other lines, and that can cause explosions if you cause up enough things, and kind of eliminate all colors of a block on a screen. And color matching is more important than making a line. It fundamentally changed what the game was about. And I think I would probably be more excited about it if it wasn't called Tetris 2, because it's just not the same thing as Tetris. Again, it's not bad. It's just not what I expected. And I want to keep playing it because I do think there's something promising here. It's just different enough where that name is just sticking in my head and I can't get it out of it. And it's just detracting a little bit for some reason. And maybe that says more about me than it does about the game. Maybe I just kind of need to get over it and, you know, put my nostalgia to bed for a little while. But yeah, I don't know. There's just something about Tetris 2 that doesn't quite click for me. Next up, this is the Game Gear game. And this one, I unless it says it plain as day on the cartridge, I won't know what this is because I still don't know the library. I'm still learning it. But here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, great, Echo. It says it clear as day because it's the stupid dolphin. I hate Echo the Dolphin so much. I know, I'm weird. I know a lot of people love it, but for me, it's just, I do not like this game. But let's take a look anyway. Now, at the risk of pissing some people off, well, you know what? No, I don't really care because I just don't like this game. This is Echo the Dolphin. Now, for those of you that are going to tell me I just need to spend more time with it, that I just don't get it, that I don't care to get it, you're right. I don't care. I have tried to like Echo the Dolphin since I was a kid. I've tried to enjoy the Echo the Dolphin series since I was younger. And every time I play it, I am left with the opinion that this game is boring, that it is not made for me. And if you love it, I think that's awesome. Just because I don't like something doesn't take away from your experience with it. It's just something that I don't like. We're all allowed to like different things. But this is a Game Gear game. And I am willing to give it a shot, but just to be honest with you, it just doesn't click for me. And again, nothing wrong with that. It's just not a game for me. I do dig getting Game Gear stuff, though. I really do love exploring what this console has to offer, even if some of the games just really don't click for me. I still think it's fun to get games for and to try them out. Echo the Dolphin, though, loose cartridge, $7. It's in great shape, looks good. I did a cursory cleaning of it with some isopropyl alcohol, popped it into the Game Gear, and it worked perfectly. Do you like Echo the Dolphin? Let me know in the comments down below. What am I missing about it? Let me know what your thoughts on Echo are. It just doesn't do anything for me. I've never enjoyed the Echo series. I know a lot of people love it, and I guess that makes me weird, but yeah, for me, it's just not something I dig. All right, last two are Genesis. They are both shorty Genesis games. Although no, one's an N64 and a Genesis. All right, let's do N64 first, and then we'll go back to Genesis. All right, 3, 2, 1. I have no idea. Oh, War Gods! I think this is a fighting game. I might have this one, I'm not sure. But let's take a look now. Let's take a look at War Gods from Midway on the N64. War Gods on the Nintendo 64 is a game that I have seen, I would say 250,000 times at the local used store here in Kalamazoo. And it's something I've never pulled the trigger on, just because 3D arena fighters from that generation, if it wasn't Battle Arena Toshinden or the first Tekken, didn't really work for me. I think we started seeing promise on those 3D arena fighters during like the PS2 and the Dreamcast generation, but N64 and PS1, I don't know, they just didn't fly for me. But here we have War Gods. This is from Midway, so these are from the Mortal Kombat guys, and it is very clearly a Mortal Kombat game without trying to be a Mortal Kombat game, or kind of a blend of Killer Instinct and Mortal Kombat, for lack of a better term. The character models feel a little bit Killer Instinct, the gameplay feels a little bit Mortal Kombat, and it doesn't really work. I mean, it's certainly not terrible, it's fine, it's not exactly fun, at least not to me. And if you dig this game, like I always say, just because I don't like something doesn't make me the end-all be-all of the statement about what the game should be perceived as. It's just not a game for me. And you're going to see that with the final game on this list when I review that one. War Gods, though, it's an $11 cartridge. It's always fun to get stuff for the N64 just because it, kind of like the Game Gear, is a library that I'm wildly unfamiliar with, so anytime I get to try something new that I've never played before is a welcome experience. I don't necessarily think I'm going to hang on to this one, but it's still neat to play, and it's something I'm going to try out a few more times just to see if I can kind of get into the rhythm of it, to see if I can fall into the gameplay to enjoy it more. All right, last but not least, Sega Genesis, the summer of Sega rolls on. Let's find out what this game is. 3, 2, 1. Berenstain Bears? Berenstain Bears Camping Adventure. Yup. Legitimately the most surprising game I think I have gotten in a Video Games Monthly box since Fantastic Four Flame On the Game Boy Advance is Berenstain Bears Camping Adventure. Now, you saw my reaction when I pulled it out of the box. I fully anticipated this game being absolute tripe, just being terrible. And instead, what I got is an incredibly competent platforming collectathon game that uses a beloved license, but doesn't lean into the fact that it's a license for kids. It just made a good platformer starring the Berenstain Bears. I don't understand. Maybe I am just beaten down by shovelware from the Wii era with like every single possible kids IP being ported to just a terrible game that no one wants to play, that I expected this to be awful. But no, it's just fun, and it works. I'm absolutely baffled by it. Is it perfect? No, not by any stretch of the imagination is it perfect, but when I popped it in and expected to play maybe 30 seconds of it to just get footage and never go back to it again, I was greeted with something that actually had a competent physics engine, a fun combat mechanic, good platforming, good graphics, fantastic music, and fun gameplay. I was legitimately surprised at Berenstain Bears Camping Adventure. I'll be playing this again. I want to beat this game. I enjoyed it that much while capturing this footage. For example, when I usually capture footage for a game that I get from VGM, I usually play it for about 10 minutes and that's it. I get 10 minutes of footage, and then I'll go back to it down the road and play it again. You guys will notice that in a lot of my footage in any of my videos, it's usually from the first 10 minutes of a game just because I don't want to give away spoilers. But with this game, I played it for almost an hour. I really enjoy it. I'm shocked at how much fun it is. It's a really solid game that does a lot with the license and kind of utilizes it, but doesn't rely on it. All right, there you have it, my haul for this month. I'm gonna pop over now to Price Chart and get everything added up, find out exactly how I made out this month, and I'll be right back to let you know if I came out ahead, came out behind, or if I was right on point.
G.I. Joe will return after these messages.
I am back, and I have totaled everything up, and I have come out at $48.01 whole penny this month for VGM. Now that does put me ahead of the curve. I pay $44.95 for my 5-up box, and that puts me ahead. Really excited to try some of these games out. Not excited so much about Echo or the Berenstain Bears. Excited about the other ones. Oddly, especially excited about Tetris. Like, I'm very interested in trying that one out, and you can never go wrong with Double Dragon 2. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite game is I received this month. Let me know if I am way out of sorts on Echo, if I'm just wildly wrong and just absolutely incorrect. Let me know what you think about that game. Hey, if you're new here, that is awesome. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. I appreciate you watching this far, and if you enjoyed it, why don't you click that subscribe button? I'd love to have you stick around. Otherwise, why don't you click that like button, the thumbs up button down below. That engagement helps the channel out a ton. I do a VGM Pickwist video every month. I also do 2 long-form videos a week, as well as a short every day. Until next time, folks, I've been Jay. Appreciate you spending a little bit of time with me. Remember to play more games, stay square, and take care. I'll talk to you soon.